I'm Rupert Dean. I'm the CEO and co-founder of x+why, and we're here to talk and hopefully make some pledges and create some action around some of the outputs and of COP26 itself, and generally to inspire each other to greater change and even bigger impact.
And so in light of being midway through and near the end of COP26, what key things do you think come out of it, and what action do you think it's going to inspire?
So I think there were quite a few moments for me at COP26. I think one of the key moments was a speech a little bit about tokenism and how we've actually got to create bigger change, more immediate change, more urgent change. But actually one of the other big things was the role of young people in some of the change that we need to see today. So I thought Clover Hogan made a really good point at her speech at COP26 about look around us, look around you now in this forum, there aren't enough young people, there's no voice, and that's why they're so annoyed, angry, they don't feel like they can make the impact and the change that they want to see. So I really hope that we start from a governance point of view to start to see how we can engage a lot more with the young, the youth, to see how they can have a meaningful voice in a debate that obviously affects them more than it affects most people.
And what at x+why do you feel you're able to provide to help make that change happen?
So it's a very good question, because I've been thinking about it a lot. I regularly think about how we're engaging with some of our members, including people like the London Interdisciplinary School, to actually learn from some of the students that are there who can engage with a lot of the businesses to provide a really different perspective, but actually a much sort of more meaningful perspective. To some extent, we are all scarred by adulthood over time, but actually what I really like is a refreshing and really sort of engaging perspective on how businesses can actually make a change, and they're really important and really inspiring in doing that. So my engagement with them, our engagement at x+why with them, is going to be really exciting, and hopefully that can lead to change, right?
I'm going to ask you a question now about B Corp. We obviously are sustainability advisors, and we help people go through the B Corp process. We're working with you on the YB program. How do you feel it's going, and what's that offering to people who are at x+why?
Yeah, so the YB program is a partnership with Seismic, who are amazing partners, and also originally with B Lab, to help people who don't know how to go through the B Impact Assessment program to realize their impact. It's a very simple tool that you can access to be able to do it, but actually quite often lots of CEOs, COOs, CFOs don't find they have the time. So it's a really good opportunity to shut the laptop, turn the telephone off, turn the mobile off, come in, be with people who can support you through that process. And we found lots of our members have engaged with this program. You don't have to become a B Corp afterwards. You can just use it to measure your impact. It's such an important start for businesses. It's such an important thing. And actually, beyond just being about impact, there are some fundamental questions about you as a business, from your company handbook to your living wage policy, right? And these are all the sort of basic measures that businesses should all be doing, whether or not you then decide you are ready to become an impact leader and become a B Corp itself, which is a journey in itself. But just start with something, and that's what the start is. It's the BIA.
So I wanted to ask you what seismic change you would like to see.
I'd like to see more engagement from a governance point of view. I'd like to see people really think outside the box about how they're making decisions. I'd like to see people actually, like I was saying earlier, engage a little bit more with the youthful spirit, and maybe even junior boards or something that gives a different perspective to a conventional, dare I say, dull way of thinking that actually creates some of the change that we actually need really urgently now.
Great. And last question. Tonight we're asking everybody to make their sustainability pledges for the future. So I wanted to ask you, what's your sustainability pledge?
So I feel really bad about the fact that we have not created a zero carbon target yet, a net zero target at all. That's purely because of the complexity of it, which I don't underestimate. But next year, 2022 is the year that we will make a commitment to net zero, with a really clear path to doing so, and a real commitment to actually starting that process.